Hello everyone, my name is Aleksandra BORKOWSKA and together with Małgorzata and Małgorzata ZAKRZEWSKA, I would like to present you the topic of remote work preferences with distance learning. Our team represents Krakow University of Economics. Our research is a part of a project that has been financed by Ministry of Science and Higher Education within the Regional Initiative of Excellence program. Let me introduce you the agenda of our today's presentation. First of all, I focus on literature, then I will move to our research model and empirical studies. At the end, I will draw conclusions. Because of COVID-19 pandemic, there was a huge increase in articles about remote education and remote work. On the slide, you can see a chart with documents by year, documents referring to remote education. However, there was also a lot of publications with the title Remote Work found in the database. As of March this year, it was 173. What is interesting, the first publications on remote work were published around 1978 and referred to orbital construction and the remote control of space and maritime stations. Nowadays, remote work refers to performing work from the place of residence, for example, from home. The report prepared by the Polish Development Fund Group shows that after the experiences with remote work during the COVID-19 pandemic, the attitude of employees and employers toward remote work has changed. The results show that both sides after the pandemic show a better attitude to working remotely. The number of people who are definitely in favor of remote work and who do not care whether they work remotely or traditionally has increased. Furthermore, the results provided in the report confirm that employees perceive the prospect of remote work very positively, especially when it comes to aspects such as commuting to work, family life, communication with superiors, workplace ergonomics, job satisfaction, or contract with their team members. When it comes to employers and their attitude to working remotely, the positive aspects of working remotely include reducing the costs of business travel, reducing employee turnover, and increasing work efficiency. From the point of view of remote work, employees evaluate the opportunities to meet new people joining the company, as well as social life, integration, and cooperation at a lower level. Employers also see the negatives of remote work, such as lack of integration and cooperation, limitations related to employee onboarding, problems with internal communication, etc. Another issue is the cost of renting office space. In this aspect, most employers say that it's difficult to judge from the point of view of remote work. According to the report and information obtained from employers, the control of employees was assessed positively, which, contrary to appearances, is not so obvious. Our research model was based on a survey questionnaire with the following questions. In the future, I would like to work remotely. I prefer when information is posted online. I learn on my own on the internet. Do you think the lessons could be done remotely after the pandemic is over? The time frame from our research was 2019 to 2021, and the respondents were secondary school students. Our sample was 128. When it comes to research questions, we had 4 of them. Do young people want to work remotely in the future? Is there a difference in this matter among women and men? What are the preferences of young people when it comes to using the internet? Is there a correlation between willingness to work remotely in the future and willingness to have classes remotely after the pandemic is over? Let me present you the results of our study. The half of young people is willing to work remotely 2 or more days of the week. The other half is willing to work remotely from time to time or 1 day of the week. It should be noticed that the answer never was not selected by any respondent. This suggests that young people have generally positive attitude towards working remotely. The chart on the right shows the differences between men and women when it comes to remote work. Answers were split into 2 groups, those who want to work remotely for 2 days or more, and those who would like to work remotely not more than 1 day of the week. Although there is no big distinction between 2 groups, it can be noticed that women are slightly more resistant when it comes to working remotely. The majority of them prefer to work remotely for not more than 1 day of the week. Another significant issue to consider is how preferences influence our willingness to work remotely. Firstly, people were asked whether they agree with the sentence, "I prefer," when information is posted online. 59% of them confirmed. People who said yes to this question were slightly more willing to work online for 2 or more days of the week. Secondly, people were asked a question if they learn on their own on the internet. The majority of them, which is 89%, confirmed. Figure 4 shows us how the answer corresponded with the preferences about remote work. People who disagree with this statement are more likely to avoid remote work in the future. In order to measure the connection between a willingness to work remotely and a willingness to have classes online after the pandemic, a correlation has been measured. There is a moderate correlation between the 2 variables. People who want to work remotely are more likely to be willing to have classes remotely after the pandemic is over. As we can see, there is a correlation on the chart and also a trend line indicated in red. There is no doubt that the aspect of remote learning and remote work is an important research problem at present. Our study confirmed that young people are eager to working remotely. However, the vast majority of them prefer hybrid model where they do not have to work remotely for the full week. What is more, young people got used to remote learning on many levels. They prefer information posted on the internet and they are able to learn online on their own. Thus, it will be of high importance to create such workplaces that will satisfy the needs of the young workforce of the future. What is more, it will be a challenge for employers. For this reason, there is a need to conduct further research in the area of distance learning and working. If you are interested in that topic, I would highly recommend you reading one of those articles or books that we used in our paper. I would like to also encourage you to read our article titled Remote Work Preferences and Experiences with Distance Learning, Empirical Research. Should you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Thank you very much for your attention.